Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to demo QuickLink. And one of the easiest ways to do it is to send out a link out to a user or to a customer against an invoice. Now you can send it against a single invoice, or you can send a request for payment for more than one invoice, or you could just send a request to pay an amount. So if we're doing it against an invoice, that's going to be a payment application. If we're just requesting just for a payment, like for a down payment or something like that, then that's going to be a payment entry. But in this case, we're going to do a payment application. Now, you can see here we've got a button on the invoice and memo screen, so that when you're looking at a batch and a particular document in that batch for a customer and all that, you can go ahead and say, I want to send out a request for payment for that invoice. And it will go ahead and just send out a link to that user, the customer, and the customer will be able to go ahead and pay that without having any username or password. They just click on it, they pay, and then it comes back into AR and it will apply against the invoice that we're looking at. We could put this button on, say, order management screen or shipper screen or customer screen or whatever, and also be able to do a payment entry where we can say, okay, well, request an amount to pay, and then they could just pay that amount, and then we just apply it against their account. But in this case, we're going to show against an invoice. So I'm going to start off with this TO1, and I'm just going to go and create an invoice for this particular customer. Just add in a few default information. We'll just put in that. We'll go ahead and put in, let's put 3.21. So there's going to be some additional, this customer set up so there's some additional charges like tax and things like that. So it comes out to 346.6, and put in a control 3.446, and let's go ahead and release it. And we'll just release that. SL is going to do its thing and release this batch, and once it's released, then we'll be able to go and send a quick link. Now we could have it automatically send out a quick link if we wanted to, but in this case what we do is you just go to the screen and we can see that we've got this invoice here. I can just hit send quick link and it'll go ahead and send this out. So if I then go into my email client, let me find that. And so it might take a few seconds for it to come out. And there we go, it just showed up. So now I've got a link here. This can also be customized any way you want. In this case, I just put the Catalina logo on it and just the amount, but it could be anything. So all I've got to do is click on this link here, and it pulled up this. So now, as you recall, there was some additional charges to go ahead and get up to the full amount of 346. But now I can just go ahead and continue to my payment form. Okay. Here, if I've got credit cards or banking information on file, I can use that. Now, remember, this is all PCI compliant, so this is not this information here that you see is not sitting on your server at all. We just have tokenized information, and so all of this stuff is being handled in a PCI compliant type of way, so that you don't have to go ahead and worry about the PCI footprint as much. So I'm just going to put in a new credit card, 1022. This is a test system, obviously. I could go ahead and save this card for later use, and it would show up in my little wallet guy and make it my default card if we've got automatic payment set up. But I'm just going to go and set this up. I'm going to process the transaction. And so it's authorizing, and once it's authorized, then it goes ahead and communicates back to the Catalina software. The Catalina software will then go ahead and make an entry into AR. So now if I go back into SL, and let's find my payment application, let's look that up. There's that 346. I can take a look at that. and I can see my 346, dock balance is 0 because it's been paid. I can now release that. And SL does its thing again. Let's see. Let me bring up the customer maintenance screen just to show that we can also see where it was actually applied in the activity. So if I go CT010, I can look at my activity. I can include applications, refresh, and there is my invoice and my payment applied. So it all did it automatically so that you didn't have to go ahead and worry about doing any of the rekeying or any of that stuff. And also, after the payment is received, the customer, if I pull up my email again, a receipt has come in, and this can also be customized as well, and basically says, thank you for your payment. Here's what it is. So basically what this allows us to do is it allows us to quickly send out a request for payment to your customer, and your customer can then go ahead and make a payment without knowing any username or password, and then that payment gets authorized and captured in a PCI compliant solution, and then it automatically updates in SL's AR so that you don't have to worry about doing that. So I appreciate you watching this video, and if you have any questions, please contact us at sales@catalinatechnology.com, and you can also see our website, www.catalinatechnology.com. Thank you.